Hi, it's Hallie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about our debt-free journey and how we got to where we are today. So without further ado, I have to say that we have come a long way to where we are. We've definitely learned lessons and become more responsible throughout experiences that we made irresponsible decisions or just made decisions that didn't pan out. So we did learn from our mistakes and thankfully at this point are in a better situation than we were before. I always felt like I should live a debt-free life just for peace of mind. My partner, on the other hand, never felt this way. He was much more inclined to, I wouldn't say living payment to payment, or paycheck to paycheck, but he didn't think debt was a problem. He came from much more of a business mindset where you're kind of always on the credit run. And I understand this perspective, but I don't personally want to live my life in this way as long as I can. But I won't say I'll always be debt-free because I do see in a business context where it can be beneficial. Our perspectives before where we got into debt were, I would say, short-sighted. We didn't have long-term financial goals. We weren't thinking about retirement. We weren't thinking about how to best invest and diversify our investments. We were thinking very straightforward of how to invest in short-term gains. I would also say that we weren't educated on different types of investments and the way that money grows as far as compounding interest. And when I'm saying all of this, this is from my understanding just within the USD, the dollar context. I know within other currencies things can be a little bit different, and as far as pricing and inflation, I'm starting to learn a bit more about that as it becomes more pertinent. So I am learning about other currencies and how to work within other currencies as well as the US dollar. But for now, this is just my history with the USD. Our influences for deciding to go debt-free were Dave Ramsey. I know a lot of people say this, but it did help. We did not do the rice and beans approach, but we had, I guess, 5-figure substantial amounts of debt we had to get rid of as far as student loans, credit cards. We've never had a car payment. We've always paid cash for cars, which I'm very thankful for. But at the time we didn't own our house. So these were things that we knew we had to get rid of and attack before we got serious about investing and moving past kind of the crypto space. We were very crypto heavy originally, and that's where we saw a lot of success and saw a lot of downfall, but I can't say that it's the worst thing because it did breed a lot of success for our lives as well. Another influence is Jordan Page, funcheapforfree.com, and she has a YouTube channel, but she has, I think, 8 kids, and it's a really great resource as far as how to pay off your house and how to still be able to provide and cook for your family and just some life hack things. She has some great resources on that. We had some family members that were great influences who really are debt-free people, and just knowing that there were other people near us that thought these values were important kind of made it easier for us to set our sights on that as well. I would also say we were influenced negatively by some people around us, friends and family members that live completely on debt. I wouldn't even say paycheck to paycheck, but just one wrong step away from complete financial ruin. And it is interesting to witness that and see the stress that that causes in people's lives and marriages, and just to know that that's something we did not want. So our personal finance beliefs now are we need to diversify our investments, we need to have a plan, and we need to revisit these things annually especially, but we try to do quarterly. And I honestly do it on a monthly basis. We do have a budget. We weren't very good about sticking to it for a while, but now we're sticking to it more religiously, and it does make a substantial difference. And we do budget in really fun things. So it is nice to have wiggle room for those things like vacations and fun presents and trips for people in the family. We have, since being in debt, our timeline was within a year, we had really shrunk down our expenses. We cut out all our subscriptions, I wasn't working at the time, so we were a one-car family, but within a year we paid off all of our consumer credit card debt. That was around $15,000. And then within 2 years we had paid off all of the tuition debt, so that was about another $15,000. So we had paid off 30 grand in 2 years on being a one income household. And then within 3 years or 3.5 years, we had purchased a home in full, bought a car in full, and created a emergency savings account, started investing, had an extra retirement account beyond 401k. So these are things that we've really started to move into. And as a 5-year window has begun to come to a close, we have started to invest in other projects and businesses and things like that. So once we had the debt paid off and once we started to pay our house off and didn't have home payments or car payments, then we had a lot more income that we could put towards not even just savings accounts, but investing in different ways. So we're trying to create passive streams of income at this point. And I see where you can kind of get into trouble once you've paid off your debt and you don't have any direction. So I'd say the most important point at this stage is that we need to keep our vision clear, and that's where meetings and budgeting become really critical for us. We really do enjoy thinking and talking about our money situation now. Before it was a problem, now it's just a reality, and I don't think we're as afraid to talk about it. It can be really hard when you're in it and in the thick of it, but I have realized, even though it's kind of a taboo topic, everybody's curious, everybody wants to know, and if you can share and help and talk with friends and other people, then you can kind of come to terms at where you're at and maybe what you need to do. Not everybody needs to do the same thing. There's a lot of books that I've read that are great books on this topic. I would recommend, I know his name is Ramit, I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. He has a podcast and I think a Netflix show now. And it's great because he doesn't tell you to stop drinking lattes, which I really dislike all of that advice from the financial advisor crowd. But there's another one called The Power of Zero, and another one by J.L. Collins. I can't remember the name exactly on that one, but it's a great book. And there's just some other, everybody says Dave Ramsey, but I prefer his radio show to his books. But things like this, just consume resources that get your mind focused on finances. Don't be afraid to delve in. It's not as complicated as people want you to think it is. And you don't need to hire somebody to handle it for you initially. You can take charge of your own situation. But really it is baby steps. Just start small, start one day at a time, one thing at a time, and do a budget. Because when you start tracking your expenses, you start to see where your money's going. You could know what you need to cut out. You could know what you value. You could know all these different things about your behavior. And it's a lot of money stuff is behavior stuff. So it is interesting to take a look at. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.